Yo, what's good, y'all? So today I'm gonna be showing you how to fucking destroy every single Crucible Knight boss. Whether it's a single boss, double boss, or even a freaking triple boss. If that's actually in the game, I'm sorry. I was just making a harmless joke, man. Not only that, I'm gonna show you guys the location of every single one, along with the rewards that they drop. So the way this video works is I'll be going through the mechanics, the movesets, the strategies, and all of that for the single Crucible Knight, and that will obviously apply to the rest of the boss fights. So, and the only difference this will make in the double boss is how to kill that first boss to get to that single Crucible Knight, and a couple more details that you need to be wary about. But now, since I am a melee build, most of my strategies do come from a melee perspective. For example, parrying, dodge rolling, and other specific ones that I'll be talking about for each boss. But I do have strategies for range. They just won't be as in-depth compared to melee. Every single boss is timestamped, so I'll be going into more details for each one, so skip to whichever one you're having trouble with. Now, for some of the strategies I'll be showing, there are certain items or weapons that I suggest you use to make this fight so much more easier. But before we get into that, make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe, because I'm about to give y'all the best Crucible Knight boss guide ever. I got all of them in one, man. Like, what else is there to do, man? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I got a lot more videos to come, so just do that for your boy. That'd be really helpful. I appreciate that. Either way, let's get to it. Okay, now the key to easily defeating every single Crucible Knight in this game is parrying. The reason why is because he has certain moves that are fairly easy to time. I'm gonna show you guys exactly what they are. And not only that, if you've been struggling with parrying and you just can't seem to get better, there is an Ash of War out there called the Golden Parry that I actually use, and I have never taken off since I got it on my parry shield. So what the Golden Parry does is basically make parrying easier. In my opinion, from using this compared to without the Golden Parry, the parry window actually increased. But what the actual Ash of War does is it increases the distance from which you can parry. So if someone's hitting you from a further distance than usual, you can still parry them. Alright, so spoiler warning, if you're early into the game, you probably haven't been here yet, but it's kind of mid-game type of thing. Just a map location spoiler, nothing too serious. We are at this location. So I'll tell you how to get here first. This is where you want to be, the Outer Wall Phantom Tree. Alright, so there are two ways to get here. The first way is to find the left and right Dectus medallions. You can find a YouTube video on that. I won't show you those locations, but once you get those, you are able to use the Grand Lift of Dectus. The way you get there, I believe, is from the lake, possibly, or it could be somewhere around here. It's somewhere around here. Just once you're here, though, you get on the ramp, you go to the Grand Lift of Dectus, and boom, you're on this side. You make your way here. Now, for the other way, you don't really need anything. I'm not sure. I had two great runes by the time I found both of these ways, so that's all I'm saying. But you start out in the lake. You want to make your way to the ravine, make your way all the way up, and hit the ruin. There's an area that you enter from here. It's going to be pretty obvious. Then you're going to probably make like some type of circle like this, and you're going to end up on this side. But there's going to be a boss somewhere around here. I won't expose the boss, but there's going to be a boss, so just be aware of that. And at the end, you'll end up on this side. Make your way here. So from here, and you don't need to fight anybody. I believe you might encounter a random boss on your way there, but you can skip it if you want. The Ash of War is inside of one of those balls that move around like and make those sounds that just like kind of piss you off because you want to find it so bad. But it's in one of those. Now from this grace, you want to make your way over here. So I guess I'll just skip a little bit of this. All right, so yeah, from there you head northeast, and I'm not sure if you encounter any bosses on the way there, or I already went through the area. So if you do, I'm sorry. Especially if you're a lower level, damn, you're gonna get. All right, anyways, you could skip bosses if you want in this area. Like I said, the Ash of War drops from a freaking ball that breaks in 2 hits. So just do it, whatever you want to do. Alright, so once you made your way over here, and you should be around here, then you turn right, you go up on that thing up there. And once you're up here, there should be the ball thing. The ball thing I was talking about should be right here, so just kill it. If not, just listen for the sound, find that ball. You know what I'm talking about. You've been around Elden World. So just destroy that, you'll get the Golden Parry, and equip it on your parry shield, and we can move on to the first Crucible Knight boss. I'm not sure which one it is. It's timestamped though, so just go to whichever one, and let's get to it. Alright, so the first Crucible Knight is the Stormhill Evergaol. Yes, I believe it is Evergaol, not Evergaol. I'm still not sure though. It does not look like that, but we'll roll with it. So if you don't have this unlocked yet, it's on top of a hill, so you have to get on this side and then go backwards. So you got to start from here, or whatever grace you have unlocked. It's pretty close from here. So you can go from here, the Church of LA, go to the gate front ruins. You can get on your horse, go through the storm gate, make your way on top of the hill, and then at some point you're gonna want to go backwards on the left side and just run towards the Stormhill Evergaol. Alright, so for the single Crucible Knight, the one with just the sword and the shield, showing the moveset from just one of them isn't enough, so I'm going to be pulling gameplay from multiple Crucible Knights like this. They all have the same moveset, and I'm going to be showing the location of the other two Crucible Knights after the gameplay. So, alright, so for these fights, like I said, parrying is going to be important, so if you skip past the golden parry Ash of War, then I suggest you go back and watch that as timestamp. But I'm going to start out by showing you guys the most important move that he does, which is his foot stomp. Now, he has two versions of this. The first version he does is a very subtle stomp, followed by a random attack in his, whatever in his moveset. To be honest, this move isn't really that dangerous. You'll get used to it eventually, and then you'll be able to roll dodge out of it and block, but just make sure if you're blocking that you have enough stamina so you don't get staggered. Because if you get staggered, that second hit window is very small, so you just gotta watch out. Now, the second version of the stomp is a lot more dangerous, but it's a lot more rewarding if you can get the timing right. You can actually get a couple hits in if you're melee or ranged, or you can get a really easy parry, which I'll show you as well. So you'll notice he'll start to do this stomp as soon as he grabs his sword with two hands, so you got a little bit more time to think here. Either way, you gotta roll dodge the stomp, but after that you have two options. Roll dodge the moves after. There's a bit of a delay, so just watch out, but once that second attack hits, it's a consecutive roll dodge, so just make sure you spam B or whatever you gotta do to roll dodge the consecutive circle attack. And this is where you're supposed to hit him. If you're melee, you can get two hits in. His shield is down, so I don't know how many for ranged. I think it's just one, like magic bullet or some shit. That's option one. Now option two is for parry. You gotta be really aware, so you gotta see the stomp coming. After you roll dodge the stomp, he hits you with that attack from above. So once you realize he's gonna do that second version of the stomp, you need to roll dodge into him. Basically, you roll dodge forward when the stomp is coming. This could be a little tricky. You might end up behind him or to the side of him, but this is actually what the golden parry is for. It increases your horizontal range for parrying as well. So I don't actually have the golden parry in these clips because I did these bosses before I found it. So either way, once you do roll dodge, you obviously have to parry that second attack that comes at you from the above. Once you're in the right position, that attack is pretty easy to parry. Just get the timing down. But if you don't get the parry, you got to make sure that you dodge the other two attacks coming. Don't panic roll. Just wait for the attacks because they're a bit delayed, like I said, and just consecutively roll dodge. It's that simple. Those are, in my opinion, his hardest moves, at least in the first phase. But there's something else I want to talk about, which is when you want to heal. When you're healing, you might realize, like, damn, this dude knows exactly when I'm healing because he seems to stab me as soon as I start drinking that potion. And I believe that's how the game works. As soon as you press that X button or square button and you start drinking that shit, he's gonna come right at you with that attack, and it just pisses you off. It pissed me off. It's how I got killed multiple times. So if you want to heal against the Crucible Knight, and especially against the double bosses, which is even worse, you gotta be really far away. Just make sure you're as far away as possible, because I know there's distances where you think, oh, I'm good, let me heal up real quick. No, that dude will come at you and inject his sword into your guts, bro. Pause. But all right, so before his second phase, I just want to show you the rest of his moves, whether you should be parrying them or roll dodging them. So let's get to it. So you may or may not know, but every single one of his moves is actually parryable, but there's some that are easier than others, like this one. If you get the animations where he either backhands the sword on you or he does the swing with his right hand on top of you, that's exactly where you should be parrying. Now you might get lucky and get that two-hit combo where he backhands it and then does a forearm attack above you, like, you know what I'm talking about. So if you miss that first parry or roll dodge the first move, then you can just time the second parry. I think it works out. It's a really good move he does in your benefit. The shield attack, you should be dodge rolling forward so you can hit him from the back and you can get pause, but you can get one hit in. But yeah, that's a great one, but it kind of changes in the second phase. Actually, everything changes in the second phase, but we'll get into that. He also has this move where he doesn't do it as often. If you get the timing right, you can actually get a really good parry. It's not as bad as it looks at the time, so just be patient. That's it. But I suggest the ones that I didn't mention that you should roll dodge them. All right, so his second phase, what's different here is basically everything. Basically, what you have to assume is after every single attack that he does, he's gonna add a tail swing. And then sometimes even after that tail swing, he'll add another tail swing. I honestly don't like the design of this because it's just literally, I think it's RNG as to when he adds a tail swing or not. So I just don't know. If you learned how to parry throughout the video, then this doesn't apply. Nothing really changes. And the only other dangerous attack that he adds is this double tail swing. So he'll swing it once, make sure you dodge roll it, and then swing it right after a second time. And that has a really big AoE. I don't care how far you think you are. If you're in freaking Afghanistan, make sure you dodge roll that second attack, because if you don't, that shit is painful, my friend. Now, I did notice as well that he doesn't do his two-handed stomp in the second phase, or at least he doesn't do it very often, but I can imagine that there's no tail swing after that attack. So like I said, if you have a lot of health or if you have a quick weapon, you can get a hit in after, in between the tail swing and in the first hit, or after. It just depends. Just play around with it, see if you live or not. At the end of the day, parrying is the easiest way to beat this boss, and if you haven't gotten the golden parry, and because it makes it easier, and I don't know what to tell you, man. But that's it for the mechanics of the Crucible Knight. I hope you guys learned how to parry or learned something new about this, learn how to beat him. Now, obviously, I won't be going over this in the double bosses, but I'll be going through the details, how to get rid of that first boss, so that you can make this fight a single Crucible Knight boss, and that's it. All right, so as promised, for the location of the Stormveil Crucible Knight, so that Crucible Knight was in Stormveil Castle, you have to be at this grace. So this grace can be unlocked by starting here. From Stormveil Castle, you just stay to the left. I won't show exactly the path because I don't even know the path I took, I'm gonna be honest. I just stayed left and just went through the doors and eventually found this grace. And from this grace, you'll go out the left door, try and get past these eagles or whatever, throwing damn TNT, I don't know what it is, and then you go up this the stairs, and then you either get knocked down by the bird or you fall down, and from here, turn left, jump on top of here, and the path from there is pretty obvious. You will eventually find the location of the Crucible Knight. So the reward you get is a incantation called Aspects of the Crucible Horn. So basically this is what it looks like, and it costs 27 faith to use. It's really cool. It has a long distance, so you know, I'd suggest y'all go for it. It's pretty cool, I'm gonna be honest. All right, so for the location of this one being shown, it's in an area that is unlocked by Radon. So if after you feed the Radon, you unlock it. So a bit of a spoiler, but skip it if you want. You don't even really get that good of a reward. It's a shield, but I guess it's part of a set, so I guess so if you want to complete the set, you might need it. But other than that, it's in Nokron. So Nokron, you go down from some area here, you end up in Nokron, the Eternal City, and you just explore, you make your way across, and then you'll end up here eventually, the aqueduct facing cliffs. You jump down onto the platform at the bottom, and then the Crucible Knight's gonna be on your right side. Now, just a tip, when you get to his second phase, you can actually get him off of the platform by making him do his jump in the air and attack, you know what I'm talking about, and he'll actually fall off of the platform, so that was kinda cool. And then you get the Crucible shield. So I mean, I guess it's cool, but you know what, yeah, that's it for those. All right, so next up is the Crucible Knight with the spear. Now this one, there's two versions of them. This is the weaker version, and it doesn't drop anything. I think it drops a somber smithing stone, and the other version, which is a boss, and I'll show the location later, drops the whole Crucible tree set. So you see the helmet that he's using in here, and he drops the whole set, armor and all of that. The fight itself is not that bad, honestly. Just if you want, you can circle around him, try to avoid hits, but make sure when he swings horizontally like that, just dodge roll it. It'll take a couple times. Just stay patient, and his moves are pretty similar. He even has the stomp. It's not that ferocious as the other one though, but yeah, it's pretty similar movesets and shit. The only difference is his attack. That attack is different. It's a lot more convenient to hit him after that, and then he has that horn attack. But yeah, just be careful when you want to hit or not. If you have a fast weapon, that you can easily get hits in, but definitely after he does that big attack in the air and slams on you, that's when you want to get your hit in. You can also parry him. That's up to you. I learned that near the double boss with both Crucible Knights, but it's up to you. You can do it either way, and yeah, that's it for that. Alright, so the location of the Crucible Knight boss with the spear is in the Deeproot depths. You'd either want to start from the Deeproot depths grace and then make your way on the side of the waterfall. Don't forget to grab this grace if you, I'm not sure if there's a stake of Marika there. There should be though. Well, you'll approach the edge of the water, jump down. There should be the air pushing you all the way up, and you should end up you should end up right here. You're gonna be fine. Trust me, you're gonna be fine. Scarlet Rod, I believe, is what his weakness is, and parrying. So just remember that. He also drops the Crucible tree armor set, all of it, and along with the Siluria's tree, which is the weapon that he uses. So. Really cool. Anyways, this boss is located in Redmane Castle, the Misbegotten Warrior and Crucible Knight. If you're in Caelid, you should take this path to go all the way down here, the impassable Great Bridge. And then once you get here, you cross the bridge, watch out for the fire being shot at you. Once you get up there, you'll realize that the door is actually locked, so just make sure, don't go back, just head to the right, and then you'll see a path. You should end up on, somewhere around here. There's a path that leads inside the castle on the right side of the gate. Eventually, you're gonna end up with all these, like, flamethrowers coming at you, and then you're gonna see a fog gate over there. Don't go into the fog gate. Make sure you get the grace that is located right here. Let's break it down. Let's get into the boss fight, man. All right, so for me, so far, this is still the worst fight that I've had in this game. I absolutely hate it, but basically, I've come to a couple strategies. Now, the first one is to destroy the Misbegotten Warrior as fast as possible so you can get the Crucible Knight alone. Because if you have them both in the arena, then shit gets really difficult. There's also a strategy for that, but let's focus on the first one. So, in order to get the Misbegotten Warrior done quickly before he can, the Crucible Knight come in, you need to have decent damage, and you need to be able to stagger him every hit. I'm not sure which swords or what can stagger this boss, but I know a Greatsword can do it because that's what I used here. So I'm sure you can figure that part out. But he doesn't stagger for more than 2 hits. Sometimes he does, so if you hit him twice, he's gonna hit you no matter how many times you hit him. The weapon I'm using is pretty shit. I'm sure you can find better weapons out there, and this will do the job much faster. So I'm not worried that you can get through this strategy. At the end of the day, you want the Crucible Knight alone. Alright, so for the mechanics of the Misbegotten Warrior and how to kill him as fast as possible, you want to coat your weapon in anything that's flame, or throw anything flame at him because that's what his weakness is. You also want to make sure you fight him near the entrance, so where you came in from, because that gives the most space between you and the Crucible Knight, so it gives you more time to kill the Misbegotten Warrior. Alright, so I'm not going to go through every mechanic, but I just want to go through the most important one, which is this attack, where he's going to roar, stomp his foot on the ground, and do the circle attacks on him. Now with the circle attack, you want to make sure you dodge at the last second, at the last possible second before that first circle attack hits. And you want to dodge forward so you can evade the second one. So it's kind of just one dodge roll for both of them. But after that, you can get a bunch of hits in. Your goal, don't forget, is to just keep staggering him. The rest of his moves you'll get used to, and eventually he'll be dead before you know it. But then also the Crucible Knight will be here before you know it. So it's really a DPS race if you're using this strategy. If you're using the other strategy with both of them in the arena, there's only one thing that I can think of that'll really help, and that's using the Bloodhound's Fang. I put a timestamp to where you can find this in the video. It's going to be called Bloodhound's Fang location, so just look for that. But basically what it is, it's a Greatsword, and you can use the skill that it has. So you swing the sword and then you back off like a big distance, so if he tries to hit you, he won't. And plus you stagger him at the same time. It works amazing in double bosses. You'll see that in the next fight in the double boss with both Crucible Knights. Anyways, use weaknesses, get it over with quick. Use a summon if you want. At the end of the day, it don't matter, man, as long as you get the job done, you know what I'm saying? So now once the Crucible Knight comes in, it should be rinse and repeat if you watch the mechanics part of this video on how to defeat the Crucible Knight, because they're all the same, at least if they have a sword and shield. Use the golden parry. The golden parry will save you, my friend. If you skipped over that, make sure you look for the timestamp on the video and where to find that. And yeah, at the time of this fight though, I didn't know how to parry, so you might be wondering, how did I beat him? Well, this happened basically. So in the second phase, he did his sweeping attack at me, and he landed in a stuck spot. I was like, oh. So if you want to do that too, that's up to you. You know, position it right. It's just position him behind the lantern thingy. I don't know what they're called, bro. And he should get stuck there too. So there's a cheese for this boss. So make sure you have arrows or magic or whatever. That's basically it for this boss, man. That's it. All right, now for the Bloodhound's Fang. This is the best weapon to use against double bosses. So that's why I'm going to be using it against both Crucible Knights coming up. And it's super powerful. I actually use it all the time. It's my main weapon. The reason I love it is because when you use the skill, it hits the person and then you do a step back and then you can hit him again if you want. That's the most important part. You don't have to hit him again. It's not forcing you into that animation like other certain weapons and shit. But yeah, for the location, it's actually really close from the start. I can't believe I didn't get this weapon earlier. But from the first step, you can actually go south. Just stay on the green area. You're going the right way if you see this grace, and just keep going south and you'll find it here eventually. And then you're gonna have to fight a boss. Sadly, I cannot help you with that, but I believe in you. Anyways, let's get to the double Crucible Knights. So in order to get to this side of the map, actually, in the golden parry part of this video, I show 2 ways how to get to this side. So yeah, once you're here though, you want to make sure you're at the outer wall battleground. And you can get here from here, make your way around, you know, just explore your way around to this part. And then from here, you want to make sure you stay on the left. You'll see stairs that go up, and then you want to go up there. On the path, there's going to be a straight way and a way down. You want to make sure you go on the way down on the right, and that will lead to the Auriza hero's grave. Just follow the path that's at the bottom, and yeah. So once you're inside, you're going to want to go down and turn right, and then you're going to see this path. The chariot's already there. As you can tell, there's a chariot, so just watch out. You go sprint all the way down and jump down on the right side over here. Now this is a bit of a speed run. I'm not gonna be showing where to get certain like items in this area. It's just gonna be a straight path to the boss. So as soon as you go through the tunnel, you're gonna want to turn right and watch out here, because you want to duck. The chariot is on its way down, and then don't forget you got the freaking frog spraying curse at you. So as soon as the chariot goes down, you make a sharp left and hide in here, just so you have a better angle of what's going on. There they slice the frogs up. That always feels good. But once the left chariot is down and it's turning away, that's when you go on that side. Watch out when you go in this space. There's a skeleton. You can either kill it or wait for the chariot to do its thing. So as soon as that happens, though, as soon as the left chariot goes down, you want to wait for the right chariot to go down as well, and then stay on that side and just flip-flop through the sides. And here there's a safe space in between the pillars, so I suggest you wait. Don't be afraid. You probably, I got killed many times there, so just wait. Then you hide into the right side and the right wall. Then you wait for the chariot to go back down, and you sprint. And then here you are. And then you'll be at, I believe, the pinnacle of Crucible Knights in Elden Ring. Might be mistaken. I'm not sure how many I missed out on. I don't think I did. But yeah, let's get to the boss. Alright, so welcome to the pinnacle of Crucible Knight bosses. I'm not sure if there's any more tough versions of them. And to be honest, there shouldn't be. This is, I believe, the toughest it gets. Alright, so the way I defeated these bosses, I needed 4 things. First is the Bloodhound Fang. Second is the Golden Parry Ash of War. Third is knowing the moveset from both Crucible Knights. And fourth is having patience. All of this combined, I guarantee you this shit's gonna be an easy victory, man. Location of the Bloodhound Fang and the Golden Parry is all time-stamped on the video, so just watch that. The Fang is important in the first part of the fight with the double bosses, and then the Golden Parry is important when you just have one boss. As for knowing the movesets, I suggest if you haven't already, you should definitely watch the breakdown I did in the video near the beginning. And for Ordovis, the guy with the axe, yeah, I'm a dumbass. I switched them. Just whenever I say Ordovis, just think of the guy with the sword and shield. I'm sorry. God damn. Because knowing their moves is highly crucial in this fight to sustain your health. However, in the first half, you need to pay much more attention to Ordovis because he's the one you're targeting. He's the one without the shield, so it's easier to attack him. Now, as you've been seeing, the Bloodhound Fang has a skill where you can hit him and then do a backstep after. So that's exactly what we're doing to Ordovis. As soon as he's done his combo or whatever move he's doing, we hit him with the Bloodhound Fang skill, which is called Bloodhound's Finesse. And then you're able to create so much space. And then when Sword and Shield tries to attack you, he can't because you're already further back. Now, don't get me wrong, you're not going to dodge it every time. It's probably going to be Ordovis that hits you, but this method is really effective. You just have to have decent amount of health and about, I think, 7 health potions. That's how much I had when I defeated him. So that's the attacking of the fight, but there will be times where Sword and Shield will become aggressive and start coming after you. Usually he shows this by running, so this is where patience comes in. You don't want to attack Sword and Shield. If you can, try and run away at the same time as trying to get Ordovis in your line of sight, so you can attack him when Sword and Shield is back to walking, when he's back to his normal state. There's also going to be times where they're both going to hit at the same time, or alternatively, so even if you dodge one, you're going to get hit by the other. It's unfortunate, but just keep sticking to the strategy. Eventually it's going to work. Keep in mind that Ordovis has really slow follow-up attacks, so you just got to look at his feet, look at where his axe or whatever he's holding is going, and just be patient, try and dodge it. You have enough time to do that. There are a couple of new moves, like Ordovis has this little ranged attack that can hit you pretty hard if you don't dodge it, so just learn the timing of that. Sword and Shield has a pretty cool AoE attack with his sword. I suggest you get out of it completely. I tried roll dodging it, you can't. Something really cool though is that you can actually parry it. It's a really hard timing, but with the Golden Parry it becomes easier. So just, if you want to try it just for fun, do by all means. So yeah, also when you want to heal, just make sure you stay as far away as possible. Obviously if you fought any other Crucible Knight, you'll know that they try and stab you as soon as you try to heal or buff or whatever you got to do. Other than that, the rest of the fight is rinse and repeat. Just like keep going at it. It might take a couple tries, but just be patient. Be patient, my friend. Alright, so now for part 2, where it's just the Crucible Knight himself. This should be real easy if you know exactly how to parry him, all his moves and all that, and if you have the Golden Parry. Now that is the one that saves you, man. That's the shit right there. You know, at the beginning of making this video, I wasn't really sure if it was really that useful, but now I'm looking at it like, damn, this is the shit, bro. Like, I'm never taking this off if I'm trying to parry something. And I got so bored of parrying him that I started fucking around. I don't know what I was doing at the end. I was trying to parry everything at that point, but like I said, make sure you pick the right moves to parry. The ones that are obvious, the ones that have the easiest timing. Not to flex or anything, but I actually died near the end a couple times just so I could get better gameplay of this shit. So that just goes to show, those 4 things combined, the Golden Parry, the Bloodhound Fang, the moveset, learning the moveset, and having patience, it's basically what gets you through not only this fight, but every single fight in Elden Ring, except for the first 2. You don't need to parry or have the Bloodhound, but you know what I'm saying. Patience and learning the movesets, letting them attack first, letting them do what they need to do, then reacting. And I'm sorry, if you're ranged, I don't really have anything for you in this fight. I can't do ranged, man. I cannot. So I guess just try your best. I don't know. And once you defeat them, though, they drop the Ordovis sword along with the Crucible armor set. And honestly, I think I'm looking good. I'm looking like a pimp right now, bro. I look like the savior of the Elden world. And there you go. That's it. That's how you get these rewards and all that. And defeat every Crucible boss. You're now the Crucible Knight yourself. God damn. Holy shit, this video was a lot longer than expected. God. If you watched the whole thing, I am sorry. But thank you, I guess. That was it, man. And I don't know if I can make another vid like this. Maybe if you drop a like, I might think about it. But also let me know what boss you need help with next. Unless I'm lost right now, so I don't know if it's an advanced boss. I can't probably do it right now. Looking at my outfit, by the way, if you think I'm really sexy and you want to know where I got this sick ass sword, powerful, like 2,000 damage ass sword with the whole armor set, then you could go watch my last video and you can see that, the Black Flame build. I hope you guys enjoyed this video though. I hope you subscribe to the channel, because if you do, then you'll become Elden Lord, or whatever you want to be in life. Maybe you want to be the guy in the back of my back. Thank you to everyone in the comments from that video that told me that this is someone's skin, so that's kind of creepy. That's even worse than I thought, but yeah, I guess the whole takeaway from this video is fuck the Crucible Knights. I'm out. Peace.